Hello friends, welcome back to our weekly update session on banking and financial awareness. These updates we are covering between 1st June to 15th June. So definitely these updates, these one-liners, it will be useful for your all upcoming banking and insurance related exams which are IBPS, RBA, SBA, LIC, RRB and other bank promotion exams also. So friends, before starting our session, if you're watching first time our channel, please subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest about banking and insurance related to your mobile. If you're already subscribed, please like, share and comment our videos. Now let's start our session. Friends, we will see first question in this session. The first question says, which organization will be investing 350 million US dollars in Indian films? So here the answer is USIDFC. United States, that's United States International Development Finance Corporation, IDFC. USIDFC International Development Finance Corporation is an independent agency of United States. So government that provides financing for private development projects. So when it comes to this question, the United States International Development Finance Corporation will be investing 350 million US dollars in Indian films. So to support multiple projects in India. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of United States International Development Finance Corporation, Washington DC, United States. The present CEO of USIDFC, Adam Boiler. So CEO name is Adam Boiler. Here the answer is USADFC. It is United States International Development Finance Corporation. Now we'll move on to the next question. Now second question says, Vice Captain of Indian Cricket Team dash to become the first brand ambassador of IIFL Finance, India Infoline Finance. So here the answer is Rohit Sharma. So he is the Vice Captain of our Indian Cricket Team. So now he became the first brand ambassador to IIFL Finance. Now we'll see what is IIFL Finance. So IIFL, India Infoline Finance, it is a leading finance and investment service company. So it is an Indian diversified finance service company and it is headquarters in Mumbai. So this organization was founded by Nirmala Jain. So now present Rohit Sharma, so the MD and co-promoter of IIFL Group announced that the vice captain of Indian cricket team Rohit Sharma to become the first brand ambassador of IIFL Finance. When it comes to IIFL Finance, the key people of this IIFL Finance, Balaji Vasudevan, so he is the present chairman of IIFL and managing director of this group of companies. So IIFL Holdings Limited, IIFL India Infoline Limited. The present group of this managing director is Mr. R. Venkatraman. So he is one of the key person for this company. So the headquarters of this IIFL is Mumbai. So here the answer is Rohit Sharma. So he became the first brand ambassador to IIFL Finance. Now third question says, recently NABARD has facilitated a SLF of 270 crore to which rural bank? Here the SLF abbreviation, Standard Liquidity Facility. So here the answer is Assam Gramin Vikas Bank. So National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development, NABARD has allocated a special liquidity fund of 270 crore to Assam Gramin Bank. When it comes to the static part of this question, the key people of Assam Gramin Bank, Sanjay Nand, he is the present chairman. Arabindo Das, Manoj Kumar are general manager of this Assam Gramin Bank, the headquarters of Assam Gramin Bank, Guwahati. So now when it comes to NABARD, so NABARD headquarters obviously it is in Mumbai, the present chairman of NABARD, G.R. Chintala. Here the answer is Assam Gramin Bank got a 270 crore rupees from NABARD for special liquidity facility. Friends, you can follow our channel in social platforms like Telegram, Facebook and Instagram. These links I have provided in description section. Now, fourth question says, who has been honored with EY Ernst & Young Global World Entrepreneur of the Year 2020? So here the answer is our Biocon Executive Chairperson, Srimati Kiran Majumdar Shah. So she has honored with EY World Entrepreneur of the Year 2020 award. When it comes to this EY global company, so it is a global leader in assurance, tax, transaction and advisory service company. So the insights and quality services they are offering to help build trust and confidence in the capital markets and economic in the world over. So the headquarters of this Ernst and Global Limited Company, headquarters London, UK. The chairman is Carmody CBO. So this global entrepreneurship company has given this award to our Biocon Limited executive chairperson Srimati Kiran Mazumdar Shah. So she got this EY World Entrepreneur of the Year 2020 award. Now fifth question says Mubadala Investment Company. So Mubadala Investment Company, it is Abu Dhabi based company from Abu Dhabi has purchased the dash percent stake in Reliance Jio platform. So recently a lot of investments are coming into this Reliance Jio platform. In those lists, the Mubadala Investment Company from Abu Dhabi, they also purchase some percent of stake in Reliance Jio platform. So here the question is how much percentage stake they have acquired in Reliance Jio platform. So it is 1.85% stake has been purchased in Reliance Jio platform. It's almost equal to 9,000 Indian rupees crores. Almost 9,000 crores in Indian rupee. Now, sixth question says, who is the only Indian celebrity included in Forbes 100 World's Highest Paid Celebrities 2020? We'll see. I will repeat question once again. Who is the only Indian celebrity included in Forbes 100 World's Highest Paid Celebrities in 2020? So his name is our Bollywood actor Akshay Kumar. Akshay Kumar, who has been ranked 52nd position in Forbes 100 World's Highest Paid Celebrities in 2020. So the estimation of earnings around 48.5 million US dollars per annum, and he is the only Indian included in the ranking of that list. So the list is topped by Kylie Jenner. He is a professional in modeling. So he is a top in that list. So our Indian Bollywood actor Mr. Akshay Kumar ji, he is 52nd position in Forbes 100's World's Highest Paid Celebrities 2020. Now, seventh question says, as per Reserve Bank of India, Indian economy to contract by dash percentage in financial year 21. So here the answer is 1.5%. The Reserve Bank of India has released a survey report describing that Indian economy to contract. So the contract is 1.5% for the financial year 2021. So the GDP to contract 1.5% for the financial year 2021. But for the next fiscal year, the GDP is likely to grow by 7.2% as per survey report of professional forecasters, which was sponsored by Reserve Bank of India. So here the answer is, as per RBI, Indian economy to contract by 1.5% in financial year 2021. It will be important question. This is going to be so. You have to remember this answer 1.5% in financial year 21. This is released by Reserve Bank of India. This is a survey report. So a survey report of regarding this Indian economy in financial year 21. Now, eighth question says, Facebook is set to acquire dash percentage stake in Jio platform via Jadoo Holding, Reliance Jio platform. So here the answer is 9.9%. Social media tech platform Facebook is set to acquire 9.9% stake in Reliance Jio platform via Jadoo Holdings. So Jadoo Holdings, it is an indirect only subsidiary company of Facebook. So no, through Jadoo Holdings, Facebook is going to acquire 9.9% stake in Reliance Jio. Friends, I am providing these weekly updates from March month onwards. So any one of you missed our previous months or weeks updates on this bank and financial news, so you can reach playlist section and take weekly updates playlist. So there every week's banking and financial updates you could see. So you can pick and watch it if you are missed it. Now, ninth question says, which bank has partnered with the Transport Corporation of India Limited (TCIL) to grant real-time payment solution facility to truck drivers? Really interesting question, this one. Which bank has partnered with the Transport Corporation of India Limited to grant real-time payment solution facility to truck drivers? So here the answer is DBS Bank. So DBS Bank has partnered with Transport Corporation of India (TCIL) to grant real-time payment solution facility to truck drivers with the help of DBS Rapid. DBS Rapid real-time application program interface. So their application name is, it is a real-time application program interface of DBS. So this real-time program application interface, it is an API of DBS Bank. It is offering a solution to give and receive payments. So the bank has also set up a unified payment interface UPI, which has been based on real-time payment solution, and it is made available to their customers uh, 24 by 7 into 365. So this DBS Rapid is based under support and guidelines of NPCA, our National Payment Corporation of India. So with the help of this DBS Rapid, the truck drivers will receive an instant credit into their accounts, which they can swipe at the terminals or withdrawal of cash using ATMs. So with the help of this DBS Rapid application, truck drivers will receive an instant credit into their accounts, which they can swipe at the terminals or withdraw the cash using ATMs. This DBS Rapid has been also considered as a payment solution and adopted by Mahanagar Gas, Lokios, Herbalife and Zolo Stays. It is recognized as the best treasury and finance strategies in Asia Pacific by Corporate Treasury. When it comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of DBS Bank Limited, it is in Mumbai. Here the answer is DBS Bank. So DBS Bank has partnered with this Transport Corporation of India (TCIL) to grant real-time payment solution facility to truck drivers with the help of DBS Rapid. DBS Rapid API application. Rapid abbreviation is a real-time application program interface. Now we will look 10th question. RBI has announced Payment Infrastructure Development Fund (PIDF) of 500 crores. What is the initial contribution made by RBI in the allocated fund? So it's really important question for upcoming all competitive examinations. RBI, SEBI, NABARD and other banks. So the Bank of India has announced Payment Infrastructure Development Fund (PIDF) rupees 500 crores. So now question is, what is the initial contribution made by RBI in allocated the fund? So here the answer is 250 crore rupees. It is an initial contribution made by RBI. So the Reserve Bank of India has launched this Payment Infrastructure Development Fund (PIDF). So the fund has been launched to give boost to digital payments in India, and it will be used to create and encourage acquirers to deploy and adopt point of sale (POS) infrastructure in physical as well as digital modes in Tier 3 to Tier 6 cities and in northern east states of India. So for mobilizing these point on sale transactions, this PIDF, this Payment Infrastructure Development Fund, is set up with an allocation of 500 crore with an initial contribution of 250 crore by Reserve Bank of India. So which is half of the covering of the fund, and rest of will be from card issuing banks and card network operators in India. So here the answer is 250 crores. It is an initial contribution made by the Reserve Bank of India. So when it comes to static part of this question, the Reserve Bank of India headquarters, obviously Mumbai, and present Governor Shaktikant Das. And one more thing, if you come to the deputy governors of RBI, this question also really how to study. So Bibu Prasad Kanungo, one of the RBI directors, deputy governors, and Mahesh Kumar Jain and Michael Debarata Patra. So they are the RBI's deputy governors. Here the answer is 250 crores. This is Payment Infrastructure Development Fund (PIDF). Now 11th question says, who has been appointed as President of Confederation of Indian Industry (CII). Confederation of Indian Industry. So here the answer is Uday Kotak. Uday Kotak. He is the present MD and CEO of Kotak Mahindra Bank. Now he has taken over as the President of Confederation of Indian Industry. So he will be replacing Vikram Kirloskar. So now Sanjeev Bajaj has been appointed as Vice President of Confederation of India (CII). So the President Mr. Uday Kotakji and Vice President Sanjeev Bajaj. Now when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarter of Confederation of Indian Industry, it is New Delhi. The President and Uday Kotak has been appointed as President of Confederation of Indian Industry. Vice President Sanjeev Bajaj. Now 12th question says, who is MD and CEO of Lakshmi Vilas Bank Limited? So recently Reserve Bank of India extended Subramanian Sundar is already present Lakshmi Vilas Bank's MD and CEO. So why it is came into news means that Reserve Bank of India recently extended by 6 months his tenure as MD and CEO of this bank. So here the answer is Subramanian Sundar is MD and CEO of Lakshmi Vilas Bank. The headquarters of Lakshmi Vilas Bank is Chennai. The tagline of Lakshmi Vilas Bank is the changing face of prosperity. The changing face of prosperity. Now 13th question says, Securities and Exchange Board of India SEBI has extended the deadline for power of attorney norms from 1st June 2020 to which date? So here the answer is 1st August 2020. SEBI has extended the deadline of power of attorney norms from 1st June 2020 to 1st August 2020. When it comes to starting part, SEBI chairman name is Sri Ajay Tyagi. Ajay Tyagi and headquarters of SEBI, Mumbai, Maharashtra. Friends, I am providing these weekly updates from March month onwards. So any one of you missed our previous months or weeks updates on this bank and financial news, so you can reach playlist section and take weekly updates playlist. So there every week's banking and financial updates you could see. So you can pick and watch it if you are missed it. Now 14th question says, Kisan credit card campaign has been extended to dash farmers. Means which type of farmers? So here the answer is for dairy farmers also. Government of India has come up with a move to launch Kisan credit card for dairy farmers also. This Kisan credit card will prove beneficial to 1.5 crore dairy farmers who come under the category of dairy farmers means milk unions and milk producing companies. So this action of government for dairy farmers comes under Atmanirbhar Bharat package for farmers in India. This KKC application format for the dairy farmers to enroll, this Kisan credit card application format for dairy farmers to enroll themselves has been generated by Department of Animal Husbandry and Dyeing in coordination with the Department of Financial Services. The aim behind this scheme for dairy farmers is to provide adequate credit facility to dairy farmers so that they can enhance and meet their dairy farming requirements on a timely basis. So here the answer is for dairy farmers, Kisan credit card campaign has been extended to dairy farmers also. The government of India has come up with a move to launch this Kisan credit card for dairy farmers too. Now 15th question says, what is the sovereign credit rating given by Moody's Investor Service to India? So Moody's Investor Service, it is a global rating agency. So it has given sovereign credit rating to India. If the answer is Baa3. Baa3 rating they have given. It has been lowered from Baa2 to Baa3. So India's sovereign credit rating has been lowered as the nation is facing this economic challenge and implementing its policies accordingly in order to reduce the risk of this sustained period risen due to COVID-19 pandemic. This Moody's Investor Services has also expected contraction by 4% in India's real GDP for the year 2021 and also has expected rise in the growth to 8.7% for financial 2022. Now, sovereign credit rating is an analysis of credit worthiness of the country. It is provides an analytical view to an investors about the level of risk in investing the debt of particular country. So this Moody's credit rating too does this type of work. Now, when it comes to static part of this question, the headquarters of Moody's Corporation, it is New York, US. So this special type of payments, this type of rating is very important to Indian investors, not only Indian, for any countries investors. So according to this rating, the private equities and FPAs will come to Indian investments, come to India. So here the answer is Baa3. So it has been lowered from Baa2 to Baa3. Now next question says name of the an artificial intelligence based chatbot which has been launched by the National Payment Corporation of India. So NPIC. Name of the an artificial intelligence based chatbot. So here the answer is Pi, Pai. So it is an artificial intelligence based chatbot. It has been launched by NPCI, National Payment Corporation of India. So this chatbot has been rolled out to create awareness among NPS products such as FASTag, RuPay, UPI on real-time basis. So these hence improving the digital finance inclusion in India. So for that, this NPA has launched this type of chatbot. So the chatbot Pi has been developed by Bangalore-based startup company. It is CoreOver Private Limited. So this chatbot was developed by Bangalore-based one startup company. So that name is CoreOver Private Limited. So when comes to the starting part of this question, which is important to competitive exams, so first we will see that this Bangalore-based startup company's founder name. So is Ankush Sabharwal. This CoreOver Private Limited startup company's MD and CEO. And when it comes to the NPC MD and CEO, Dilip Asbe. Now this virtual assistant, this artificial intelligence virtual assistant Pi is available around the clock and helping users with access to accurate information on NPCI products. NPCI products are FASTag, RuPay, UPI. All these are NPCI products. So customer can ask their queries in English and Hindi via text or voice on the website of NPCS, RuPay or UPI. On any platform, a customer can ask their queries regarding these products. So here the answer is Pi. So it is an artificial intelligence based chatbot application. Now, 70th question says which financial organization acquired 24.19% stake in Dish TV India Limited? It is a huge stake in financial organizations. So, which financial organization acquired 24.19% stake in Dish TV India Limited? Here the answer is S Bank. So recently S Bank came into news regarding this acquiring stake in Dish TV. So the S Bank Limited has acquired 24.19 stake in Dish TV Limited. This acquisition in stake leads to invocation of 44.53 crores in India's direct to home D2H DTH and direct to home service provider. So when it comes to the S Bank static part, the headquarters of S Bank Mumbai, the tagline of S Bank, experience our expertise. So present after S Bank raises, the present MD and CEO of S Bank, his name is Mr. Prashant Kumarji. Prashant Kumarji is present MD and CEO of S Bank. So here S Bank has acquired 24.19% stake in Dish TV India Limited. Now 19th question says who has been appointed as chairman of committee on service provider of IBBI. IBBI, it is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. So present Mohandas Pai, he has been appointed as chairman of the committee on service provider of IBBI. Service provider of IBBI. Friends, I am providing these weekly updates from March month onwards. So, any one of you missed our previous months or weeks updates on this bank and financial news, so you can reach playlist section and take weekly updates playlist. So, there every week's banking and financial updates you could see. So, you can pick and watch it if you are missed it. Now, 20th question says Government of India increased custom duty on bamboo from 10% to what percent? So here the answer is 25%. Government of India has increased custom duty on bamboo trees from 10% to 25%. Now, 21st question says with whom First Alliance Bank FAB Limited in Zambia has partnered to provide POS solutions in Africa? POS solutions in Africa, point of sale solutions. So here the answer is ePaisa. ePaisa, a point on sale solution provider in India. It has been entered into a partnership with the First Alliance Bank FAB Limited in Zambia to provide POS solutions in Africa. So the POS solutions will be offered to small and medium enterprises and other business of the country. So this is the first global partnership for ePaisa, and this will be provide a POS solution for FAB, First Alliance Bank. So the partnership will also create awareness for digital payment systems in Zambia. So the headquarters of First Alliance Bank, it is Lusaka in Zambia. And when it comes to CEO of our Indian ePaisa company, Mr. Praveen Kumar Bandari, he is the present CEO of ePaisa. ePaisa, it is a point-on-sale solution provider in India. Now it has entered into a partnership with First Alliance Bank Limited in Zambia to provide POS solutions in African country. Now when it comes to 22nd question, with whom NSDC National Skill Development Corporation of India has partnered to accelerate skill development program to its partners. So here the answer is TCS Eon. TCS Eon, which is a unit of TCS. So it has been partnered with the National Skill Development Corporation of India, NSDC. The partnership it provides access to TCS Eon digital classrooms to NSD's training partners. TCS Eon Digital Classroom is a web-based digital education platform which provides online vocational skills based trainings to students and youth across the country. So the partnership will strengthen the eSkill India platform, which is NSDC's online content aggregation platform. This TCS Eon, it is an unit of TCS, has partnered with National Skill Development Corporation to accelerate skill development program to its partners. Here the answer is TCS Eon. When it comes to starting part of this NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation, it is New Delhi. The present MD and CEO of this NSDC, Manish Kumar. And the chairman of NSDC, Mr. A.M. Naik ji. So here TCS Eon, which is an unit of TCS, has partnered with NSDC, National Skill Development Corporation. Now next question says, name the flagship program recently launched by CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Taxes, which make use of technology for faster custom clearance of imported goods. Custom clearance of imported goods. So here the answer is Turant Customs. So the Central Board of India, that is Central Board of Indirect Taxes, has launched a flagship program. That program name is Turant Customs. So this Turant Customs is a reformative program in order to ensure ease of doing business. This flagship program will make use of technology for faster custom clearance of imported goods. This program will make use of technology for faster custom clearance imported goods. By this program, importers will now get their goods cleared from customs after faceless assessment is performed by the custom officers located outside the port of import. It is launched at Bangalore and Chennai. Thus, these two places have become the first phase of this Turant Customs reformative program. Now, the goods imported to Bengaluru may be assessed by the customs officers situated in Chennai and vice versa. So, this Central Board of Indirect Taxes Customs has launched this flagship program. So, the flagship program name is Turant Customs. The main purpose of this program is importers will now get their goods cleared from customs after a faceless assessment is performed by custom officers located outside the port of import. It is launched in Bangalore and Chennai. So it is launched in Bangalore and Chennai. Thus these two places have become the first phase of this Durant Customs reformative program. Now the goods imported to Bangalore may be assessed by the customs officer situated in Chennai and vice versa. When it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of Central Board of Indirect Taxes, it is New Delhi, Indirect Taxes and Customs, and New Delhi. Present chairman of this CBIC, Mr. Ajit Kumar. Mr. Ajit Kumar. Here the program name is Turant Customs. Now 24th question says, recently Reserve Bank of India has released a new set of norms for which of the following? Recently Reserve Bank of India released a new set of norms for the loan sales and securitization of standard assets. Loan sales and security of standard of assets. The Reserve Bank of India has released two draft documents titled as Draft Comprehensive Framework for Sale of Loan Exposures and Draft Framework for Securitization and of Standard Assets. Securitization of Standard Assets. So in bank there is two type of assets as a standard and non-standard, standard and substandard. Doubtful. These are the loan classifications. So here Reserve Bank of India has given draft comprehensive framework for sale of loan exposures and draft framework for securitization of standard assets. First we will see what is the draft comprehensive framework for sale of loan exposures. So this draft deals with various issues like asset classification of loans to be transferred, nature of entity purchasing loan and mode of transfer of loans. In this draft, existing conditions for the sale of NPS are also rationalized. NPS matlab non-performing assets which are unable to recover from the customer, from the borrowers. So this drafted framework will build a robust secondary market for bank loans that will ensure proper price discovery. So this was about draft comprehensive framework for sale of loan exposures. Now when it comes to draft framework for securitization of standard assets. Draft framework for securitization of standard assets. So this draft framework will help to align the regulatory framework with the baseline guidelines on securitization. So that have come into force from 1st January 2018. So the framework describes that only transactions that result in multiple tranches of securities being issued reflecting different credit risk will be treated as securitization transaction. So here the answer is loan sales and securitization of standard assets. These are the recently new set of norms given by our Reserve Bank of India. So two draft documents they have given. One draft name is Draft Comprehensive Framework for Sale of Loan Exposures. Another one is Securitization of Standard Assets. Now when it comes to static part of Reserve Bank of India, Reserve Bank of India headquarters Mumbai, the present Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikant Das. Now next question says, which organization will be investing $350 million in Indian films? Here the answer is USIDFC. USIDFC, United States International Development Finance Corporation, will be investing $350 million in Indian firms to support multiple projects in India. So the projects supported by USIDFC will be in fields of finance, health infrastructure, renewable energy, food security and dairy farming. So in these fields, this United States of International Development Finance Corporation, USIDFC, investing $350 million in Indian firms. So when it comes to static part of this question, the United States of International Development Finance Corporation, headquarters Washington DC, United States. The present CEO of this USIDFC, Adam Boehler. Adam Boehler is present CEO. Now next one says, who will head the committee set up by Reserve Bank of India to review the ownership and corporate structure of Indian private sector banks? Really, it is important question for upcoming examination. We'll read once again the question. Who will head the committee set up by Reserve Bank of India to review the ownership and corporate structure of Indian private sector banks? Here the answer is Dr. Prasanna Kumar Mohanty. So Reserve Bank of India has set up a committee of 5 members, which is basically a 5-member internal working group to review the ownership and corporate structure of Indian private sector banks. The committee will be headed by Dr. Prasanna Kumar Mohanty. He is a Central Board of Director of Reserve Bank of India. The committee is expected to submit the review and analysis report by this year 30th September. This internal working group will evaluate the extant licensing guidelines and regulations which are related to ownership and control of Indian private sector banks. The committee will also review the eligibility criteria for individuals or entities to apply for banking license. This committee will also review the eligibility criteria for individuals or entities to apply for a banking license. The internal working group this will examine and evaluate present regulations holding of financial subsidiaries through a non-cooperative financial holding company (NOFHC), non-cooperative financial holding company, and will suggest solutions of migrating. It will suggest a solution of migrating all banks to uniform regulations. So this internal working group will suggest a solution for migrating all banks to uniform regulations. So the committee is headed by Dr. Prasanna Kumar Mohanty to review the ownership and corporate structure of Indian private sector banks. So when it comes to static part of this question, Dr. Prasanna Kumar Mohanty is Central Board of Director of Reserve Bank of India. So under his head, the committee will review the ownership and corporate structure of Indian private sector banks. So when it comes to RBI, he is working in RBI, so RBI headquarters in Mumbai. Now next one says Exim Bank, Export Import Bank provided line of credit 215.68 US dollars, 215 million US dollars to which country? To which country? So that country name is Malawi. Malawi, a landlocked country in southeastern Africa. You can see on screen that Malawi country's map, world map. The Export-Import Bank of India, Exim Bank, has provided a line of credit of 215 million US dollars to Malawi government. So the financial support will be utilized for welfare of drinking water supply schemes and irrigation projects and sugar processing equipment, cotton processing facilities, and other welfare purpose. So when it comes to starting part of this question, the Malawi country, as I told, it is southeastern Africa. The present capital of Malawi country, Lilongwe country, and the currency is Malawian kwacha. When it comes to static part of this question regarding Exim Bank, the Exim Bank headquarters Mumbai, the present MD and CEO of Exim Bank, David Raskina. He is Exim Bank's MD and CEO and headquarters of Exim Bank Mumbai. This Malawi country capital Lilongwe, the currency of Malawi, Malawian kwacha. Friends, that was about weekly updates from 11th May to 24th May. So if you like this video, please like, comment and share. If you're not yet subscribed our channel, please subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates to your mobile whenever I will upload new video. So thanks for watching. Jai Hind.